Hey, so I heard you got a date. Yeah, it's the only date I could get. Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Anina, and if you haven't noticed, today's video is all about dates. So it's February, it's the month of love, and we all want a Valentine's date. Even if you say you don't, I know for a fact we all want one. You could say that no, I'm too cool for Valentine's dates. You could say that I don't care about Valentine's Day, or if you're in a relationship, you're probably like, no, you know what? Valentine's Day is not important because every day should be special. But you know what? We all want a Valentine's Day date, okay? I know this. I'm a girl. I'm human.
I want to date, damn it.
So today, I'm going to show you how to get a date for Valentine's Day. So there's 2 weeks left until Valentine's Day. I have compiled 5 ways to get your date in 2 weeks. So I do have long-term plans and I do have short-term plans. So if you start now, you can get a date by Valentine's Day with the long-term plan. Please note that these suggestions are for any kind of gender. But seeing like I'm a straight girl, I'm going to mostly talk about a date as male and me as female. Make sense? Long-term plan number 1, I call the she's the man approach. So in order to get this approach perfectly, you need to do some research. Luckily, in today's day and age, we have so many platforms to figure out what your date likes. You can check Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest. You can maybe even Google them. Get as much research you can get. I know people might say that this could seem like stalking, but no. Get your terminology correct. It's called research. So let's say your prospective date is into gymming. Here is what you do. Hey, sup? Sup? How you doing? How you doing, huh? Huh? Bro? Brodinsky? Brother man? So you're probably wondering how this approach would lead to a date. If you're dressed like a dude, well, either this guy is gonna realize that he's into dudes, because come on, I look good as a dude. But the better way is to actually lead the conversation that you'd have in the locker room into what he'd like in a girl. Then you become his perfect girl. So, did you see that hot chick on the treadmill? She was fun. You know, the hot chick on the treadmill. The blonde hair. Anyway, dude, so what do you like in a girl? You like into, or more into like ass, or you like blonde girls? Oh, personality. Ah, right. Lame. I mean, what kind of personality? Funny. Oh, I got this. You see what I mean? That is a she's the man approach. So my second long-term approach is called either the opposite approach or the options approach. This approach I got after doing some research and asking the question, why do you not have a date? And in my professional opinion, I have come to the conclusion that that is because you've made the wrong mistakes your whole life. So here's what you're gonna do. Let's say you get an app. Go onto that app and change everything into the opposite. So let's say you are on an app and you wrote there you're looking for tall men. Change it into short men. Let's say you use Tinder. Usually you swipe right if it's the right guy or left when it's the wrong guy. You know what you do now? You swipe left when it's the right guy and right when it's the wrong guy. Now, here is why this approach is gonna work. Well, number one, you're changing things up a bit. You're realizing what you've done wrong your entire life. And secondly, the thing about left swiped people is usually those being left swiped get left swiped usually. So here's another pro. You are in control of the whole situation because he's more desperate than you. Another great thing about going to the left swiped people is you usually also swipe more to the left than to the right when you swipe right for the right and left for the wrong. But now you're swiping left for the right and right for the wrong.
Inception.
The left swiped pool is usually the bigger swiped pool. That is why it's not just called the opposite approach, but also the options approach. Because now you'll have a whole ocean of fish to pick from. So if you're anything like me, you're probably going to procrastinate. So it's gonna take a week for you to decide to actually get off your ass and do these approaches. So I have a third approach, which is kind of like it can take either a couple of days or instant results. But this is called the Facebook in real life approach. So here's what you're gonna do. You are going to walk up to every single guy you think might be single and you find remotely attractive. And just like on Facebook, you randomly poke them. See what happens. They'll either react or they'll ignore you. So this brings me to my last two approaches, which is part of the short-term program. This means you have procrastinated to the point where procrastination is procrastinating to actually be completely embarrassed for you. So approach number 4 is the direct approach. The first thing you do is you go to a clinic, get yourself a whole box of free condoms. So here's what you do. You've got your handbag filled with condoms, put it over your shoulder, and walk up to that guy you need to ask you on a date. Oopsie. Would you please pick up my handbag for me? I can't seem to bend that far. Side note, the reason why your entire handbag needs to be filled with condoms is when it drops, it needs to spill everywhere. If that doesn't work, I only have one more tip for you, and that is called the mafia approach. So you come to me one day before your Valentine's date, and you ask me to help you after I've given you 4 approaches. Dates. So here's what you gotta do. You get yourself a box. Nothing fancy, nothing too big, nothing too small. Just get yourself a box. This is where things become a little tricky.
But you're desperate.
So listen to me. Get yourself a rat. Any rat. Anywhere but a rat. Kill it. Make sure it bleeds. It needs to be fresh. My pro tip is to deliver it yourself, ring the bell, run away as fast as you can. The reason why, not that I would know any of this, but like UPS guys do tend to smell dead rats. On top of the box, you write a note. Take me on a date tomorrow.
Or else.
Please provide him with the necessary information, such as the place, the time, and when to meet you. Or he might not know, and then you might think he stood you up, but it's just... and that could just be terrible. So there you have it. 5 ways to get yourself a date by this Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment. I mean, I would really love to hear if these suggestions work for any one of you. If you're in jail, don't mention my name. No, I'm just smudging my makeup. Oh, I didn't.